Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back again to the brand new video. And today I'm going to recommend two shows that I actually ended up picking up decently early within the actual winter season. So these aren't shows that I've kept up with all the way up to date, but there are shows that I watched the first, few or couple episodes from. And I did find them interesting because I continue to watch at least 3 to 4 episodes. So whenever I'm recommending these shows, be sure to take necessarily what I say about Invaders ID, which is what we're about to talk about right now, with not necessarily a grain of salt, but I'm pretty confident whenever I say that I think you guys would actually like Invaders ID if you are someone who does like the psychological genre within any kind of medium, whether it just be anime and or live action. So Invaders ID is about this guy who actually is thrown into prison due to him, avenging his daughter and wife's death, and he's actually in this machine and traveling into this world or these worlds, I should say, because they're actually individual people's worlds that are within their minds. He's traveling to these worlds trying to uncover answers, trying to track down the true enemy who's creating these criminals. And as vaguely as possible, as I'm trying to kind of tiptoe around a lot of the plot points, the show kind of does start off a little bit crazy and kind of seems like it's skipping a lot of its just kind of basic intro elements per se, like kind of like laying the foreground of the plot out. But no, it's really just kind of one of those first episodes that is really supposed to just make you say what the hell's going on, and then immediately after they start to actually let you know what actually is going on as soon as like episode 2 rolls. So they do clear that up, but nonetheless, it is his job to try to get me interested. So going further into Invaders ID, though, each episode is kind of episodic, and that's something that I did find maybe somewhat concerning about the series, because I just didn't know exactly where the show was going to go and if it was going to actually have an arc. Yeah, we know all these episodic narratives are building into the main narrative. Yes, that is true, and I could see that clear as day. But at the same time, it's important to wonder where the show's actually going to end up going, because I've seen a lot of anime that have these episodic narratives. And by episodic narratives, I do mean episodic stories. Each individual episode it's a different story, but there is kind of like this path that is going down that is obviously going towards the main plot point that was set up in episode 1 about who murdered, of course, I can't remember the guy's name, but the main character's family. So there's a lot of things going on there, a whole lot of things going on there. So I'm interested in seeing where that does end up going. But yeah, if you like psychological, you may like that, because it's a detective-esque kind of show, if you did catch on to that, which I was trying to describe but be vague at the same time, so it was kind of difficult. So moving on to the other show that I would recommend, and this is a season 3 show, so a lot of you could jump into the series or not jump into the series. I don't know what you're going to do, because there's a lot of routes you can really go into the show with. And the show I'm actually referring to is a certain scientific Railgun season 3. For anyone who's watched it, it starts off with season 2 kind of not necessarily left off, but it starts off in the Hase festival. So you're going to be seeing what Misaka is doing while Tomojo's doing all his stuff. You're going to see the intro to her mother being introduced, how she really showed up in Academy City compared to how she just kind of like came out of nowhere. So there's a lot of elements in Railgun compared to, so for people who don't know, possibly, Railgun is a spin-off and or a side story to a certain magical index, which is the main storyline. But yet each, even like the accelerator side story, which I don't know, I feel like you should watch it last. Just, I don't know. I won't get into that right now though. But a scientific Railgun is the side story for the other female protagonist. So, and that's Misaka. So it's really interesting with her character, because you also get that dual perspective of what each character is doing whenever the other character is doing something else in their own story, because these are both canon. The storylines are the same, but they're only different because the presentation's different, because it's different character perspectives. One's our main character, Tomo Kamijo, and then we have, of course, our other side character, who is Misaka, main side character. Misaka's an interesting one. There's a lot of characters I could argue that are more main than her in a certain magical index. But in a scientific magical Railgun, she is 100% the lead female protagonist and protagonist in general. I don't know, she's so like hit or miss in the main series. Like she's Definitely a main character, you can tell, but yet she's not necessarily given the screen time all the time as a main character would be, especially in like significant arcs with a lot of action and drama. But yeah, it's a great back and forth show. The show really brings out a lot of itself because we get to see what a character is doing whenever one of our other main characters were doing such a pivotal thing. We get to see that Misako is always doing something pivotal as well. She is never kind of just sitting on her hands and knees and just chilling. There's a lot of things going on in the background to where she saves the world compared to where Kamijo Tomo saved the world in a certain magical index. So a lot of cool things there. It's a nice back and forth. Same, both canon, same timelines, just different perspectives, and it's cool to see when they converge and you get you get the female protagonist Misaka's perspective compared to Komijo's, even though it may be a scene to where Komijo had that lead perspective. And then, of course, we get the scenes to where we didn't even get to see at all in a certain magical index, and we do get to see in a scientific magical railgun and vice versa. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, those are my two I'm gonna recommend now. I'm more so gearing up for spring because I want to pick up a couple episodes or a couple series. I think I know I said I don't want to do weekly reviews, but once again, I have iterated. There may be a couple shows I do pick up. There's a few special ones to me: Snafu, ReZero. There's some more coming out too. I just can't remember which ones are coming. There's like 3 that I'm really into that are coming out, I think, this spring. So, as always, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thank you guys for watching.